Hello everyone, and welcome back to part 30 of Build the Battleship Yamato. Okay, so in today's video we're kind of just adding this photo etch bow plate, and we're pretty much, before we can apply this, we've got to kind of taper all these plankings. When we built the plankings up, obviously we just left them over long. So the first part of the video we're going to kind of get all this all smoothed down, and on the starboard and the port side, so then we can apply this bow plate. A little bit further on, I'm going to be making up one of these little anti-aircraft guns. I've not done any of these this section for quite a while, so I thought I'd show you this procedure. So it's a little bit of close-up work, but I hope you'll enjoy it. Okay, so in today's video, I need to start working on fitting this bow fore plate, and it kind of sits just on the top, something like that. But obviously, when we did the planking, when we got to a certain stage, we had to kind of like step it up in little steps. So obviously, this is all over long. So now in this video, we kind of need to trim it down so we can get this fore plate fitted. And I've already done it on the starboard side, and I'll show you the process now. Okay, so because I've not put any decking down yet, I want to kind of step mine up. I don't want to cut it flush to these pieces we've got here. It's going to be slightly too low. So what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to get a little bit of material and kind of glue it. It's only 0.5. I'm just going to glue it just down there, just so it kind of raises where we're going to cut. Just around about 1/2 mil. First thing I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glue on all these little lines where the bulkheads were. I'll put a little bit of glue, not a load, just enough to it's going to hold it down a few seconds. Put one on there. It's only 0.3, so it kind of sits down nice. Pop a little bit of masking tape over it, just while the glue's drying. So it's moving down towards the bow. Like I say, it doesn't have to be perfectly accurate and pushed into the plank. It's only just like a guide, just so we keep the blade a little bit higher. I'm just going to glue down just this last one. Okay, so there's quite a few options for this part. You can kind of use your razor saw, but the tendency with a razor saw is you might slightly start to angle away and kind of cut down. So you want to try and cut it nice and flat. So what I did with the starboard side is I just used a craft knife. So what I'm going to do this time, I'm just going to break off a little piece of the blade so I get a completely brand new sharp end. What I'm going to do now is start on this end. In fact, what I'll do is I'm going to make a couple of little relief cuts. Just stop him when he gets that masking tape. What this will do is help with the cutting. Okay, so I'm going to start on this corner. I'm going to get my blade kind of as flat as I can. I'm just going to start to score down, just following this temporary line that we fitted. I mean, like I say, because we've got this spacer down there now, keep this blade flat, we won't cut into the any more material and touching that blade. Like I say, a really good razor sharp chisel. It'd be good for this section, but I don't have one. Okay, so I'm going to move across and start again. And then just the final section. Okay, so now we took off all this rough material. Now I'm going to just bring across the sanding block. This has got a 120 grit sandpaper on. I'm just going to give it a nice sand. Okay, so after getting the first sand, we can now just peel these back off. And like I say, now we've still got it. Well, we kind of want to actually put the planking on. It's not going to overlap, it's going to come up against this. So now I just going to have a final sand. Okay, so after sanding this this starboard side planking, now I'm just going to bring this faceplate over. It now sits over the foredeck, and that kind of just going to sit something like that. You can actually see now that we kind of need to do a little bit more fairing on the planking either side, kind of taper this in tight slightly a bit more. There's actually a gap on this section as well, so that's probably just going to need body filler. That kind of gives us a good indication of how well it's going to line up. Okay, so I was going to feel around this foredeck, see if there's any of these pinheads are sticking up. Most of them have had quite a good sand, so that's okay. But if you've got any pinheads that are sticking up, just make sure the sand is flush, but that was okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use this 60-second glue again. Kind of quite like this. Pretty much this 4H part just kind of fit around this section. I'm just going to kind of glue all this up. Make sure we get a nice bead close to the edge. That's kind of where sometimes they tend to peel back slightly. Okay, because it's 6-second glue, we kind of want to put this part on. We get a little bit of time just to move it around a little bit. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to put it on. I'm just going to move it backwards and forward, just to spread all this glue around. Then start to get it lined up with this back edge, and then feel it along the front edge as well. That looks okay. I'm just going to use a little bit of standard masking tape, wrap it around. This will just make sure it's completely glued down. Okay, so that's the foredeck. 2-edge part stuck down. Okay, so normally with each week, as well as the parts you get to kind of make the hull, you normally get some little parts to make up the superstructure. This is a little anti-aircraft gun, and obviously we've got, I think there's loads of these to be done. I've not done any for a while, so I thought I'd do one today and to show you the process. But pretty much like I say, because it's die cast, you tend to have a little bit of an edge. So all you do is start off with, I just take my sanding stick and just take off. It's mainly on this bottom edge where you kind of get the rays flashing. It doesn't take too much, it's only quite soft material. It's kind of nice just to kind of buff up the face. Okay, so we get this front part, and this is the part that kind of where the anti-aircraft guns fit in. It's kind of like it's made up, but it's got 3 little holes. And that's designed where it kind of fits, slots just inside this body. It's housed in the anti-aircraft gun, and it fits in there like that. But it tends to need, like I say, needs a little bit of work. So it's incredibly, where it's been drilled for the holes, incredibly soft. I kind of just pinch it with the needle nose pliers, kind of get it onto the workbench cutting mat, sorry, and then just take my file and just see that one's broke. So saying this, just how delicate they are, but you can still use them. The last one I broke, I just have to glue them into 2 parts, so you just have to kind of sand the edges in one. So I'm going to fit these parts just using a little bit of super glue. So I'm just going to run a little bead of super glue just around this bottom edge. This first part, it broke up, and I'll make sure I get it where the holes for the guns are in the middle. So I've got the first half in. Like I say, it'd be a lot easier if it went in one piece, but like I say, it does. It's normally about 50% where they break and where they don't. So I'll take this top off. Kind of drops in there. To kind of move around, do a little bit of adjustment. Just bring that one forward so they both slip in top of each other, still showing off the 3 holes. Okay, so leave that to dry a few seconds. Okay, so for this purpose, this instructions for these making the guns in this kit, we only pretty much just get I think it's probably a 0.5 bit of brass wire, 0.4, and like I say, I know there's some really nice enhancement, obviously where you can get the gun barrels, but I can't find any in this scale for 250 scale. So if anybody knows any kit suppliers that are actually selling these in a scale of this size, just let me know, drop in a comment. But it tells you we need to obviously cut 3, we need them at 6mm. So one of the easiest things to do is just get yourself, this is a piece of wood that I use for Matrix Victory. This is 6mm, in fact it was just 2 pieces of 3mm, I've just glued them together. So all I've done, I've just drilled a little hole. What I can do now, I can just pop this brass wire in. You can push it down to the bottom of my cutting mat, and then I can come in with my side cutters get really flush, just push that down, and that cuts that off. So pretty much then you just could have come in with your file, and then that cuts out a nice 6mm. Pretty much what you'll do is every one you cut will come out of the same size. Okay, so these little piece of brass rod we just cut, it's all fit inside these little holes. And drop a little bit of super glue in every hole. They've all just flew off. Every one of them. Put the first one in. The second one in. It's quite difficult for you to see, so my fingers in the way. With the tweezers, they're just firing off, so I kind of held in with the fingers this time. And then just get your pliers, needle nose pliers, and then just pinch them all. That'll line them all up all level. And then if any minor adjustments, just adjust them just by eye. Nobody's going to come in with a ruler and measure the gaps of 0.5. Well, you hope not. Okay, so that's pretty much another triple barrel anti-aircraft gun done. Got about another 50 to do. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to join me again in 2 weeks' time for part 31, I've got some plans. I kind of got these sent to me from a guy called Glenn Shelton, and I just want to say a big thank you for that, because I didn't actually get any of these plans. And I never actually, even though I've still subscribed to the kit, I'm still getting some parts each month. I never actually got a set of plans. So when he was talking, he said he actually got some plans, and he was kind enough to send them out to me. That was absolutely brilliant. So yeah, so my plan is obviously from part 31 I can kind of get some of these plans on the photocopier, and then we can kind of take the photocopied plans and we can kind of cut them out and glue them to the sides, and we can start to make some little marks for all the portholes and all the kind of decorations that go on the side. So anyway, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you all again soon.